So if I was gonna say that I had a regret, do we have a hood for the range? Another question that I receive, of course, is about cooling and keeping the food. One of the most popular questions that I received was, Enchantée. Hello lovelies, I'm Angela and this is Parisienne Farmgirl. Bienvenue, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much. First of all, you were all so gracious and kind and supportive. I cannot tell you how many emails I received when I announced that we just needed a bit of a sabbatical from YouTube, and you all were so supportive. It's really challenging as a content creator. You know, it is an algorithm-driven world, unfortunately, and we took a really big hit with the channel. And your response to our video coming back, last week's kitchen reveal, wow, I'm so touched. So thank you for that. In that video, I promised you that the next video would be me answering all your questions. There are well over, I think, 400 comments right now on that video, and a lot of them are questions. So today I'm going to do exactly what I said I would do. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can about last week's kitchen reveal.
Thank you, Birch Living, for sponsoring today's video. Right now, Birch is having an extended Labor Day sale for 25% off and 2 Eco Rest pillows. So check the link in this video description and stay tuned for more.
Birch is a premier mattress-in-a-box company that makes mattresses sourced with sustainable and organic materials, free of polyurethane, which means no harmful off-gassing, and to be free of fiberglass. I want to sleep safely. I want my family to sleep safely. One by one, we're going through the house and switching them all out. I love mine. I've had it for a few years now. With your Birch mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial. You get a 25-year warranty. The great thing is they're gonna bring it right to your door. It's easy. You just bring the box inside and unwrap it. If that's not right for you, they are available for in-home setup and removal to make your buying experience as convenient as possible. Now let's talk about the discount. You gotta sleep. It's what's right for your body. I love my Birch mattress, and I think you will too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Birch Living.
Their extended Labor Day sale is live now, so check the link in this video description for 25% off your Birch mattress plus 2 free Eco Rest pillows.
So visit birchliving.com/Parisienne Farmgirl. You'll find the link right in this video description. So yeah, if you hadn't noticed by now, Birch Mattress is a huge sponsor of the channel. They've been with me for years, and I love mine. I'm so happy to still be working with them. Last week, I shared an ad for something that I do, which is flea market tours in Paris. Your response was amazing. So for 2025, I have 2 flea market tours planned for April, and each of those are groups of 16 people. Between the 2 tours, one's a little bit more swanky than the other one. The other one's fabulous. Both are wonderful. But between the 2, I have 5 spaces left out of 16. So if you want to come with your daughter or your auntie or your best friend, be sure to click the link in this video description. Actually, where's it gonna end up? I'm reversed filming right now, so I can see myself while I film. It's gonna be up in one of these corners. There's gonna be a little eye. Click that if you want to reserve your spot. There's a small deposit, and we're gonna have a great time. But at this point, because of your response last week, there's only 5 spots left, so chop chop. I would love to have you, and I'm pretty jazzed right now. I'm sure you can feel my energy because I'm filming this. I'm like just checking things off my list because I leave for the October trip in what's gonna come down to be a matter of days. I think right now it's about, I don't know, 12 days or 11 days or something. I don't know. All I know is that tomorrow I'm going to get my haircut. I haven't had a haircut since April. I'm jazzed, and I know you're jazzed to find out all the answers to the questions from last week's video. So let's start with the biggest question, which was paint colors. Everybody wants to know about the paint colors. So bless their heart, I called the hardware store in town because there were a few cans of paint that I couldn't find, and they gave me some additions to my notes. Can you see the fruit flies? I know it's fruit fly season where you live too. They're really bad this year, aren't they? All right, the first color, and this is the color in the living room. So I'm hoping you're following along over on Instagram. There's lots more updates on Instagram because it's a little bit easier for me. This is a Faro and Ball color, called Churlish. I love the name. Sometimes I'm feeling a little churlish. That's the color that we used in the living room. And at one point I got this idea to bring it into this room, and that is thanks to one of you. I can't remember, probably one of you over on Instagram DM'd me this beautiful Elle Decor, the France edition of Elle Decor magazine of a kitchen done in a color really similar to my living room and a color really similar to Luga, the LaCanche in the background. And if you don't know the Luga story, then that's a sign that you definitely need to be following over on Instagram. So I saw these colors together and I thought, oh my goodness, that is the same two colors in the living room, right next to where I'm sitting. Is I have a Trumeau that I made out of an old mirror from 1910. I made it years ago. And every time I sit on the couch and I look up at that blue Trumeau against the churlish green, I think, oh, those colors are so pretty. Now, I never thought I wanted a blue kitchen. I really wanted Luga to just be the centerpiece. If you would have told me 6 months ago even, you're gonna do a blue kitchen, I'd be like, get the heck out. No, I'm not. But this darn Elle Decor magazine I thought was so beautiful. There were a lot of blue and white dishes. It was just a few pages, but sometimes you just need a little bit to push you over the edge inspiration-wise, and that is what this magazine did for me. So I'm gonna try to pop up a picture right here, a few pictures of the magazine. And yeah, so I took that feeling that I get sitting on the couch looking at that Trumeau and against the churlish, and I thought, well, I'm gonna bring that into the kitchen. I really love a yellow kitchen. I love a yellow kitchen. I love Monet's dining room. Actually, my kitchen back in the day used to just be like a neon yellow like that, very Provençal. His house is in Normandy, obviously, but just really just in your face. I love that yellow. And so one of the ways I brought that yellow into the kitchen, I think I just lost my train of thought a little bit because my phone just showed me that I have a low battery. Yay. One of the ways I brought the yellow into that kitchen was in my yellow cabinet. I've had that hutch forever. It was the very first antique that we ever bought. And it was just incredible. We've had the piece forever. It was that typical like cherry wood color back a long time ago. I took off the glass. I put in chicken wire like, 15 years ago, and that was really hot, and painted it sort of a muted yellow. But because I love Monet's kitchen, for this space, since I wasn't going to do the walls yellow, mostly for filming, because that would be a yellow floor and yellow walls and just too much. I was trying to get away from yellow to begin with anyways, because as you saw in the before shots last year, or when we bought the house, it was all cedar and there was just so much orange happening. It just felt so icky. So being that I didn't really want to do yellow walls in here because it would just be, it's a big room that's too much yellow, I wanted to kind of get my yellow gun off, have that homage to Monet's dining room that I love. And so some of you asked what the yellow paint was on the yellow cabinet, and it's two colors. I gotta check my notes here. And that is yellow ground, number 218, and babouche, I think it's babouche, number 223. And those two colors are by Farrow and Ball. And so is the churlish. So churlish is the green, and eventually there will be a chair rail in here, and there will be even more churlish. But for now, it's what you see back on those windows, framing those windows out. It's a nice pea soup. I love it. It's a weird color. I love it. But it does pick up the green in the Delft tile on the range, and the green definitely in the oil paintings. So there is definitely a palette to the room. And then the yellows on the cabinet are yellow ground, number 218, and babouche, number 223, and all those are by Farrow and Ball. And if you are not in the market to pay Farrow and Ball prices, you can have your paint store mix those colors for you, and that's what I did. Last but not least, the blue is a Sherman-Williams color, and it is Byte Blue, B-Y-T-E, and that number is 6498. So it's not the blue you see up on the trim that I did around Luga. That's like a legit baby blue. I took the door of the stove and had them match it. But it is the pale blue that you see on the walls. So another question I got was, do you have any regrets? Would you have done anything different? And I don't know that I would have done it different, but I will give you the heads up that the bite blue, it's really pale during the day, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to just be really soft and sort of second guess, like, oh, her walls are blue? Not in your face blue, because I do want the Lacanche to be the focal point as far as like that pop of color. But, so it's not a regret, but it is a heads up that at night, it looks really blue, okay? So put a sample on the wall if you're going to try bite blue, and then you can see what you think. Check it in all manner of lighting. Another question I received a lot is like, how did we cook during the 9 months that everything was going on? Because we got the stove in June of 23. And June of 23 or June of 22? Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. But I will admit, like, the cooking has been a little bit lackluster, and I do love to cook, but this year was really challenging. It was just really challenging emotionally. I have a friend, one of my customers that's come on a couple of my Paris trips. She is a kitchen designer. And she was so sweet. She just emailed me, you know, because you could sense on YouTube, I would try to tell you like how chaotic it was, and then I'd try to pull back because like poor me, I'm redoing my kitchen, right? But she's like, you don't have to share that. Redoing a kitchen is very stressful. As a kitchen designer, just know, like, it's just like having a baby. You got to get it over with, and then everything's going to be okay. The cooking really wasn't all that I wanted it to be during the last 9 months. So I'm really happy to sort of get back on the horse, as it were. And another question that I had received was, how did we do dishes? So we took the copper sink out and we set it in the living room for most of the 9 months. Right here in the boot room, if you're brand new to the channel, we've got a boot room right here, and that's where I've got sort of a mess sink, a big cast iron sink that we found in the woods. If you're brand new and you don't know that we found a sink in the freaking woods, that's where I like strain my milk every morning, wash my eggs. That's where we clean out paintbrushes, and that is where I do the dishes. However, during the whole process of this kitchen, at one point I was doing dishes in the Rubbermaid tubs, because 4 days before my last Paris tour, we lost power and we were living without power for 4 days, which is not a big deal. You can do it if you're prepared. Because we were doing this kitchen, like, we were not prepared. I'm ashamed to say we did not have what we needed on hand. We were using snow to flush toilets and boiling water and filling Rubbermaid tubs, and I was washing dishes in Rubbermaid tubs in the boot room. Extremely stressful. You bet your booty. I was so happy to leave and go to Paris. And just the day I left, the power came back on. So I was really grateful that I didn't have to leave my family in those conditions. Another question that I receive, of course, is about cooling and keeping the food safe. If you don't know already, obviously there's no fridge. I don't like white noise. It bugs me. We have a walk-in cooler that we built DIY style in the garage, and I will try to put the link for when we did that. We did that a long time ago. I'll put that in the video description for you. Do we have a hood for the range? No, we don't. Because the house is an eco house, we don't have any ductwork in the house. It's a really unique situation architecturally. And I would have to put a big tube going across the ceiling and vent that outside. But I do have every intention. On Amazon, there are little portable vents, and I do need to get one of those. I mean, it does get bacon greasy up in here when I clean my copper. Sometimes it's like, ew, it's gross. But you know, they tell you you have to have a vent. You really don't. I have not had a vent in 25 years. It's always turned out the way our kitchen is configured that we don't have a vent. Because of the amount of cooking I do here, I really would like to get one of those portable things. I'll be honest with you, I just haven't gotten it yet. A lot of people wanted to know where this stuff is. And I will tell you that in this process of doing the kitchen, I got rid of a lot of stuff. I don't like a lot of kitchen gadgets. I even got rid of my Cuisinart. I couldn't find all the blades. I'm like, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna get one at the resale shop or start over with a really nice, like, industrial size one. It was never big enough for the family. I have a few Pyrex casserole dishes. I have a few cast iron, like Dutch ovens. I have a set or a collection of cast iron pans. That's my preferred cooking. And obviously I have copper, but I have, besides measuring cups and the family dishes, which are right here in the yellow cabinet, I don't really have a lot of kitchen stuff. Behind the camera are 2 doors that we did not get to yet. As far as finishing the kitchen, we are going to cut into the envelope of the house. This is an envelope house. If you're brand new, Google it. And we'll make built-ins there. Hopefully we do that. I don't know if we can do that right before the holidays. Might happen after. And then I will have legit storage for the Instapot. Right now it's under the curtains that I put over the dishwashers. So it actually was really cathartic in the whole process of doing this. I got rid of a lot of stuff and I'm functioning just fine. The kitchen is working just fine. One of the most popular questions that I received was about the floral arrangement that was right behind me on the island. And it may shock you to know that those were leeks. So those were last year's leeks that there was a batch of them that I did not harvest. I left them in the ground and that was them going to seed. They were amazing. They were like 4 and 5 and 6 feet tall in my garden. And one day, I love a flower arrangement with structure. One day I thought, oh my gosh, that is so cool. I lopped them off. They lasted that was about their 3rd week when you saw them. So they were pretty done at that point and they were attracting the fruit flies, but those looked so cool. And I think every year I will let some go to seed. They were spectacular. If I wasn't so swamped right now getting ready to leave the country, I'd hang them somewhere, maybe like spray paint them gold or do something really cool for a Christmas arrangement. But sadly, the truth is I did get rid of them. But note to self, keep a few leeks back in your garden, let them do their thing next spring, and they will give you like some amazing structure for a floral arrangement. Many of you wanted to know about the table behind me, and I'll just scooch over this guy right here. I think I can, there we go, focus on it for you. That is in fact it's called a draper's table, and it's designed for measuring fabric. And typically the ones you find online are from France. This one I was just blessed enough to find in our community. Sometimes when I find a French antique here in northern Wisconsin, it's just shocking and clearly so meant to be. The green is perfect. Right now I have it covered in sort of scrap Carrara marble, and we will be, we have a piece of marble measured and fit for the draper's table, and that will be coming later on. Now the green, again, is sort of in that palette of the churlish that you see on the windows back there and that we talked about at the beginning of the video. And then what I did was when I was sourcing things for Parisienne Farmhouse, my shop, which definitely check out because I told you I've got a 10% off sale right now, and you have to use the code Kitchen Reveal. A lot of people responded to that last week. That was fun. I had so much fun shipping you your packages. So click the I in either corner. That's going to take you to Parisienne Farmhouse, which is my online shop. Curated new French items, and I bring French antiques home from the flea markets. So there'll be a lot of good stuff in a few weeks. Can't wait. But when I was adding items for the fall for that shop, I found these lampshades, and they are the green lampshades that you saw in the video. They're a few shades darker than that green back there. They work beautifully. They're a few shades darker. They're lovely. I think there's a few more left in the shop, and I used them on the chandelier above me and the twinsy little Italian chandeliers in the back because I felt like just having all the mix match lighting that would sort of bring everything together. And I really love British design, and they have that, you know, their fabric, they have that English lampshade look, which I really, really love. A question I get a lot is about lighting. It is a dark kitchen, even with those windows that we added in the back. Right now I'm sitting here with this window facing me. I've got one of those ring lights just so I can, you know, it's the north side of the house here. It is dark. As far as light bulbs, it's a good question, because the chandelier, you're either dealing with like a classic bulb, or you're making that, or feeling pressured to make that decision to choose an LED. What I did this time was I did go with LED bulbs. They're kind of cringy. I don't love them, but I needed the light, so I wanted a higher wattage, and I knew I had fabric lampshades. So the great thing about the LED is it's not getting hot as a standard light bulb, and so I could jack up that wattage, get enough illumination, and then bring down that risk of burning a lampshade, because I don't know if you've ever burned a lampshade. It is not a fun thing. And so the light bulbs are all LED in the chandeliers. All of the lamps, however, are the Edison bulbs, because I love them. They have a beautiful yellow, golden firelight sort of look. I think they're really, really pleasing. They're really cozy in the morning. I get up really early to work out, and when I come down, I can just turn on a light and it's not, you know, gonna blind me and disrupt my mojo. It feels good. The Edison bulbs are my favorite, and so that's what I use in all my lamps around the house. But for the chandeliers, I am converting them over to LED for a variety of reasons. For the lampshade, or the lampshade safety's sake, I have a lot of old ratty silk lampshades, and they do get hot, and I've had them burn before, and it can be scary. And because of the way the house is built, the ceiling you see is the floor above. And so when the kids run around, the chandeliers shake and the light bulbs burn out all the time. And I just got so tired of burned out light bulbs, you know? I'm sure you've seen them in my videos. It gets really old really fast. So those were the most popular questions, the ones I got over and over again. If I missed one, I'm really sorry. I took notes. Tried to write everything down for you and cover everything that I thought you wanted to know. Of course, if you would like to join me in Paris, grab one of those last 5 spots, click the I, always drop down to the show notes, because the show notes. I'm used to saying that from my podcast to the video description. And if you want to hear my new podcast, I have a new podcast. Of course, I am a co-host on HOMEMAKER CHIC podcast. I know tons of you listen to that. We love you. I do have my own new podcast, which is called Paris with Angela. And that just gives me an excuse to talk about my favorite place in the world, help you plan your trip, whether you're going to Paris without me or you're coming on one of my own. So that's a new YouTube channel and a new podcast on all podcast players, Paris with Angela. Head over to the YouTube channel, help me out, subscribe, I would love that. That's everything. That's everything. There's a few spots left for the trips. We talked about churlish, we talked about paint, we talked about light bulbs. If I forgot something, leave me a comment and I will do my very best to respond as I'm getting ready to head out on my next trip. But most of all, I just wanted to convey our appreciation for your encouragement and how you made last week's video a smash. If you've got a design group or something on Facebook that you're in, share it over there, help us keep it going. And of course, if you never have, I know not many people do these days, but if you never have, would you consider subscribing to the channel? Because that tells YouTube that something's up and they show the videos to other people. Love to you all. I will be back very soon. Tell me if you would like a packing for Paris video. Maybe I will do that. But I'll see you all again very soon. A biento. How's a girl supposed to focus? Oh my gosh, please tell me those batteries work right. Fruit flies. Stupid fruit flies. With fruit flies. How's a girl supposed to focus with fruit flies bombardiering? Honestly. Enchanté.